Okay, gang, take a look at this. Loveless Merritt Makers, Riverside, California. Merritt being Jim Merritt, who started with Bob back about 1981. The longest partner Bob ever had at the shop. The first partner he had was Steve Johnson, 1971 to 1974, which would cover the end of Lawndale logo, and they started the Riverside logo in 1974. So this is a Loveless Merritt Riverside logo. Very nice. And Jim Merritt, great man. Both Bob and Jim are now passed, and I miss them both. But this is a great little hideout, which we just studied earlier with the hidden pin New York Special and the hideout. What makes this so great is you see the actual. This is a different, less. You see the polish is more of a matte finish on this knife. It doesn't have the slick glow that we saw on the previous knife with the hidden pin. Of course, this one is also engraved beautifully by Joe Mason. 24 karat gold inlay. Price is $13,500. Shop number 278. And the thing about shop numbers, Bob said, they don't really mean anything except for the shop. I mean, you can have a one-of-a-kind knife and it'll be number 851, or you have a one-of-a-kind knife that says 904. So it really doesn't mean there's 904 knives. It's just Bob's way of marking. If you took the knife apart, if you took the handles off the knife, you would see the numbers inside there. You would see 278 inside the handles. Everything that went on it was matched up. So when everything came together, it's like, okay, all these parts go with number 278. I said, Bob, how did you get those numbers? He said, I just look at the last three digits of a car that goes by. So that was Bob's number system. The New York Special is a nice little signature logo, which I really like the signature logo. It's just a very, I don't know, it's just so different. You know, the nude logo is really popular, and of course, the famous football logo, but this with the signature is really unique. This is knife number 362 New York Special. Nice black micarta. Again, more of the matte finish, not quite the high gloss that we saw on the other knives. And this one is 12,500. Both really beautiful. The thing is with the hideouts, the New York Specials, the fighters, the boots, the big bears, daggers, the double grinds, they're sort of like the V12 Ferraris. They're very expensive. There's not that many made of them, and the resale on the double grinds is massive. Bob, without a doubt, has the largest secondary market on the planet. A.G. Russell said years ago, he said, man, there's nobody like Loveless. He said every year since Bob went in business, his knives have gone up. They're, the most collectible knife in the world. Everybody, I mean, I sell these things all over the world. Everybody knows Loveless. I sold one to Eric Clapton. It's just, if you know knives or if you collect other things, it's just, he's sort of the Ferrari of the knife world. Or I tell people he's the Picasso of the knife world. He instigated a lot of things that people hadn't really thought of. Maybe the hollow grind. He brought the 4-inch drop point hunter back. Started tapering the tangs, which, tapered tangs were certainly being done in the 1700s, 1800s, and people sort of forgot about it. And Bob in the 60s started doing the tapered tang, take some weight out of the knife handle, make it float in the hand. Bob said you want to make a knife look so good, you want to pick it up and feel so good, you don't want to put it down. So with a Loveless knife, when you look at it, even in a magazine, when you look at it, it's like, man, that's a good looking knife. It's like when you see a Rolex Submariner. That's the way a knife, that's the way a watch should look. It just has that, I don't know, certain charisma about it, like the Porsche 911. It's just an iconic image, and everybody that made knives, they said early on we wanted to make a Loveless drop point hunter. So everybody sort of started out wanting to make a Loveless knife. So Bob really put his stamp on the 20th century knife world. I mean, he was a great designer. The things he thought of, you know, the sub hilts, all the different little things he did were just, you know, sometimes he experimented, sometimes it was great, sometimes it, you know, didn't work out. But with all people that design, and sometimes their mistakes turn out really great. I remember one time being down at Al Williams. He had at the time, the largest Loveless collection in the world, 300 knives. And Bob was looking at them laid out on a table. And Bob goes, well, there's 55 years of mistakes. And I said, well, Bob, most people don't have their mistakes copied. So Bob was pretty lucky. He wanted to make a working knife, but he made a knife that was so beautiful and so great, people just didn't want to use it. And it's funny because he says, I make a knife for the working man. And I'm like, Bob, the working man can't afford your knife, and nobody's used it in 30 years. It took them 20 years to get your knife, so they're not running out to abuse it. He goes, well, I don't make wall hangers. People should use them. So if you got one, use it. Bob would be happy. Thanks for watching.